Do you want to successfully complete the D322 Objective Assessment exam? Then you are in the right place. Our website provides a list of questions and answers for your success in the D322 OA exam for free. We understand that acing your OA exam can be quite challenging. That's why we provide completely free exam guides and practice questions for you. In this video, we will cover questions from risk management, database concepts, computer hardware, software and OS, and networks and security. So let's get started. 1. Which risk management strategy involves shifting the responsibility of risk to a third party, such as through insurance? A. Risk mitigation. B. Risk transference. C. Risk avoidance. D. Risk acceptance. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. Risk transference. Explanation, option B is correct because risk transference is like saying, this problem is too big or too expensive for me to handle alone, so I'm going to pay someone else, like an insurance company or another business, to take on the responsibility if something bad happens. You're transferring the financial hit of the risk. Option A is incorrect because mitigation means you try to make the risk smaller or less likely to happen, but you still handle it yourself. Option C is incorrect because avoidance means you decide not to do the risky thing at all, for example, not launching a product if it's too risky. Option D is incorrect because acceptance means you know there's a risk, and you decide to just deal with the consequences if it happens, without doing anything special to prevent or transfer it. 2. Which database structure is best for storing one-dimensional simple data sets in plain text format? A. Relational database. B. Hierarchical database. C. Flat file database. D. Object-oriented database. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. Flat file database. Explanation, option C is correct because a flat file database is like a really simple list or a basic spreadsheet stored as a plain text file. It's one-dimensional because all the data is in one big table, without complex connections to other tables. It's great for straightforward, simple lists of information. Option A is incorrect because relational databases are more complex, using multiple tables that are linked together to store data in a very organized way. Option B is incorrect because hierarchical databases organize data like a family tree with parent and child records, which is more structured than a simple flat file. Option D is incorrect because object-oriented databases store data as objects, which is a much more complex structure designed for specific types of applications. 3. Which component of a CPU performs mathematical and logical operations? A. Control unit. B. Arithmetic. Logic unit. C. Register. D. Cache. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, B. Arithmetic logic unit. Explanation, option B is correct because the arithmetic logic unit is the part of the CPU that performs arithmetic operations and logical operations. Option A is incorrect because the control unit fetches instructions and tells the ALU and other parts what to do, but it doesn't do the math itself. Option C is incorrect because registers are storage spots that hold the data the ALU is currently working on. Option D is incorrect because cache is a small amount of very fast memory near the CPU that stores frequently used data to speed things up. 4. What does TCP/IP stand for? A. Transmission Control Protocol Internet Protocol. B. Transfer Command Protocol Internet Process. C. Transaction Control Program Internal Packet. D. Transfer Control Protocol Internet Path. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Transmission Control Protocol Internet Protocol. Explanation. Option A is correct because TCP/IP is the main set of rules that computers use to talk to each other over the internet. Transmission Control Protocol makes sure data arrives reliably and in the right order. An internet protocol is responsible for addressing and routing the data packets to the correct destination. Option B is incorrect because Transfer Command Protocol and Internet Process are not the correct expansions for TCP/IP. Option C is incorrect because Transaction Control Program and Internal Packet are not the correct expansions for TCP/IP. Option D is incorrect because Transfer Control Protocol and Internet Path are not the correct expansions for TCP/IP. 5. Which type of database model organizes data using a parent-child relationship, often represented as a tree structure? A. Relational database. B. Flat file database. C. Hierarchical database. D. NoSQL database. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. Hierarchical database. Explanation. Option C is correct because a hierarchical database organizes its data like a family tree. There's a main parent record at the top, and it can have several child records branching off it. Each child can then be a parent to its own children, and so on, forming a tree-like structure. Option A is incorrect because relational databases use tables that are linked together with relationships, but not necessarily in a strict parent-child tree. Option B is incorrect because flat file databases are just simple lists with no complex parent-child structures. Option D is incorrect because NoSQL is a broad category of databases that don't use the traditional relational model. While some NoSQL databases might have tree-like structures, hierarchical database is the specific term for this parent-child model. 6. Which type of software provides a trial version and requires a purchase for full functionality? A. Freeware. B. Shareware. C. Open source. D. Proprietary software. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, B. Shareware. Explanation. Option B is correct because shareware is like getting a free sample. You can try out the software for a limited time or with limited features. If you like it and want to keep using it with all its cool features, you usually have to pay for a license or subscription. Option A is incorrect because freeware is software that is completely free to use without any trial period or requirement to pay, although the source code isn't usually available. Option C is incorrect because open source software is not only free to use, but also lets you see and modify its underlying programming code. Option D is incorrect because proprietary software is owned by a company and typically requires purchase from the start. While it might offer a trial, shareware specifically describes the try before you buy model. 7. What type of backup captures only the changes made since the last backup of any kind? A. Full backup. B. Incremental backup. C. Differential backup. D. Mirror backup. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. Incremental backup. Explanation. Option B is correct because an incremental backup is very efficient. After you've done an initial backup, each incremental backup only saves the files that have changed or are new since the very last backup was made, whether that last backup was a full one or another incremental one. This makes incremental backups fast. Option A is incorrect because a full backup copies everything every time. Option C is incorrect because a differential backup copies all changes made since the last full backup, not just since the last backup of any kind. Option D is incorrect because a mirror backup creates an exact copy of the source data, but it's not defined by only capturing changes since the last backup in the way incremental backups are. 8. What is the main purpose of a project's analysis phase in the SDLC? A. To implement the system. B. To determine user requirements. C. To conduct beta testing. D. To install hardware. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. To determine user requirements. Explanation. Option B is correct because during the analysis phase of the system development lifecycle, the team does a lot of detective work to figure out exactly what the users need the new system to do by gathering user requirements. Option A is incorrect because implementation happens later in the SDLC, after analysis and design. Option C is incorrect because beta testing happens later, during the testing or implementation phase. Option D is incorrect because while hardware needs might be identified during analysis, the actual installation usually occurs during the implementation phase. 9. Which memory type is non-volatile and retains its content even when the computer is powered off? A. RAM. B. Cache. C. ROM. D. Registers. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. ROM. Explanation. Option C is correct because ROM stands for read-only memory. It's non-volatile, meaning it doesn't forget what's stored on it when the computer is turned off. ROM typically holds essential startup instructions for the computer that the computer needs to know how to boot up. Option A is incorrect because RAM, random access memory, is volatile and loses all its data when the power goes off. Option B is incorrect because cache memory is also volatile, super-fast memory used by the CPU for temporary storage of frequently accessed data. Option D is incorrect because registers are tiny, volatile memory locations inside the CPU itself. 10. Which network topology features devices connected along a single cable? A. Mesh. B. Star. C. Ring. D. Bus. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, D. Bus. Explanation. Option D is correct because in a bus topology, all the computers and other devices on the network are connected to one single shared cable, like houses along a single street or stops on a bus route. All communications travel along this main bus cable. Option A is incorrect because in a mesh topology, devices are often connected to multiple other devices, creating many paths, not just a single cable. Option B is incorrect because in a star topology, all devices connect to a central hub or switch, not a single shared cable run. Option C is incorrect because in a ring topology, devices are connected in a circle, each one to its two neighbours. 11. What does the command select in SQL do? A. Insert new data into a table. B. Modify existing records. C. Retrieve data from a database. D. Delete data from a table. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. Retrieve data from a database. Explanation. Option C is correct because in SQL, which is the language used to talk to databases, the select command is your main tool for asking the database questions and getting information out. You use select to choose which columns and rows of data you want to see from one or more tables. Option A is incorrect because you use the insert command for that. Option B is incorrect because you use the update command for that. Option D is incorrect because you use the delete command for that. 12. What is the purpose of the control unit in a CPU? A. Execute arithmetic operations. B. Manage system memory. C. Fetch instructions and direct operations. D. Store temporary data. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. Fetch instructions and direct operations. Explanation. Option C is correct because the control unit is like the manager or traffic director inside the CPU. Its job is to fetch the next instruction from memory, decode what that instruction means, and then tell the other parts of the CPU what to do and in what order to carry out that instruction. Option A is incorrect because this is the job of the arithmetic logic unit. Option B is incorrect because overall system memory management is primarily handled by the operating system, though the CPU interacts with memory. Option D is incorrect because registers and cache store temporary data within the CPU, but the control unit directs their use. 13. Which type of encryption uses two keys, one public and one private? A. Symmetric key encryption. B. Asymmetric key encryption. C. Hashing. D. Digital signature. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. Asymmetric key encryption. Explanation. Option B is correct because asymmetric key encryption, also known as public key cryptography, uses a pair of mathematically related keys, a public key that you can share with anyone and a private key that you must keep secret. If someone wants to send you a secure message, they encrypt it with your public key and only you, with your private key, can decrypt it. Option A is incorrect because symmetric encryption uses the same single secret key for both encryption and decryption. Option C is incorrect because hashing is a one-way process that creates a fingerprint of data. It doesn't use keys for encryption and decryption in this way. Option D is incorrect because a digital signature is a process that often uses asymmetric encryption to verify authenticity and integrity, but it's not the type of encryption itself. 14. Which type of backup takes less time by only backing up data that has changed since the last full backup? A. Incremental backup. B. Full backup. C. Differential backup. D. Mirror backup. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. Differential backup. Explanation. Option C is correct because a differential backup is designed to be faster than doing a full backup every time. After an initial full backup, a differential backup will copy all the files that have changed or are new since that last full backup was performed. So each differential backup might get a bit larger if many files change, but it's still quicker than a full one. Option A is incorrect because an incremental backup only copies changes made since the very last backup of any kind, making it even smaller and faster than differential, but more complex to restore. Option B is incorrect because a full backup copies everything, every time. Option D is incorrect because a mirror backup creates an exact copy, and its definition doesn't focus on backing up changes since the last full backup in this specific manner. 15. What's the role of a device driver in a computer system? A. Manage internet connections. B. Translate high-level code into machine code. C. Provide an interface between hardware and the operating system. D. Store temporary data. Do you know the answer? Correct. Answer C. Provide an interface between hardware and the operating system. Explanation. Option C is correct because a device driver is a special piece of software that acts like a translator or an interpreter between a piece of hardware and the computer's operating system. The operating system gives general commands, and the driver translates those into specific instructions that the particular hardware device understands. Option A is incorrect because while a network card driver is involved, managing the overall connection is a higher-level OS application task. Option B is incorrect because this is the job of a compiler or interpreter. Option D is incorrect because memory stores temporary data. 16. Which of the following is a key characteristic of open source software? A. It is free to use, but the source code cannot be modified. B. It is free to use, and the source code can be modified. C. It is available for a free trial, but requires purchase for full features. It is proprietary and cannot be distributed freely. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. It is free to use, and the source code can be modified. Explanation: Option B is correct, because open source software has a special license that gives users important freedoms. Typically it's free to use, but more importantly, its source code is available for anyone to look at, study, change, and even distribute their modified versions, often under the same open source terms. Option A is incorrect because it describes freeware, not open source. Freeware is free to use, but the source code is not available. Option C is incorrect because it describes shareware. Shareware allows a user to try a piece of software for a limited time or with limited features before purchasing a license. Option D is incorrect because it describes proprietary or commercial software. Proprietary software restricts usage, modification, and distribution. 17. Which component of a computer is considered volatile memory? A. ROM, B. SSD, C. RAM, D. hard drive. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. RAM. Explanation: Option C is correct because RAM, or random access memory, is a volatile memory, meaning it needs constant power to retain information. Option A is incorrect because ROM, or read-only memory, is non-volatile, retaining data even when power is off. Option B is incorrect because SSDs, or solid-state drives, are non-volatile storage that retains files without power. Option D is incorrect because hard drives are also non-volatile storage devices. 18. Which of the following describes the role of a database administrator? A. Design websites. B. Maintain hardware components. C. Manage and configure databases. D. Develop mobile applications. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. Manage and configure databases. Explanation: Option C is correct because a database administrator is like the guardian and manager of an organization's databases. Their job includes designing databases, setting them up, making sure they run smoothly, keeping them secure, backing them up, and troubleshooting any problems. Option A is incorrect because designing websites is the role of a web designer or developer. Option B is incorrect because maintaining hardware components is typically the role of a hardware technician or systems administrator. Option D is incorrect because developing mobile applications is the role of a mobile app developer. 19. What does a compiler do in software development? A. Translates source code into machine code all at once. B. Executes code line by line. C. Interprets user commands. D. Debugs program errors. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, A. Translates source code into machine code all at once. Explanation. Option A is correct because a compiler is a special program that takes the entire source code and translates it all in one go into machine code. The result is usually an executable file. Option B is incorrect because executing code line by line describes what an interpreter does. Option C is incorrect because interpreting user commands might describe a command line interpreter or shell, but not the primary function of a compiler for source code. Option D is incorrect because while compilers will report syntax errors they find during translation, the act of debugging is done by the programmer. 20. Which backup strategy requires both a full backup and the most recent incremental backups for recovery? A. Full backup. B. Differential backup. C. Incremental backup. D. Mirror backup. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. Incremental backup. Explanation. Option C is correct because when you use incremental backups, each backup only saves what's changed since the very last backup. So to get all your files back, you need to start with your last full backup, and then apply every single incremental backup that was made since that full backup, in the correct order. Option A is incorrect because a full backup contains everything. You only need the one full backup file for recovery. Option B is incorrect because with a differential backup, you only need the last full backup and the latest differential backup, as it contains all changes since the full. Option D is incorrect because a mirror is an exact copy. Restoring usually involves copying from the mirror. 21. Which part of the SDLC involves actually building and testing the system? A. Analysis. B. Planning. C. Implementation. D. Maintenance. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. Implementation. Explanation. Option C is correct because the implementation phase of the system development lifecycle is where the plans and designs turn into a real, working system. This involves programmers writing the code, setting up any necessary hardware and software, and then thoroughly testing the system to make sure it works correctly and meets the requirements. Option A is incorrect because analysis is when requirements are gathered and understood. Option B is incorrect because planning is when the project's scope, resources and schedule are defined. Option D is incorrect because maintenance happens after the system is deployed, involving updates, bug fixes, and ongoing support. 22. What does the acronym DNS stand for? A. Data Network System. B. Domain Name System. C. Digital Number System. D. Direct Network Structure. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. Domain Name System. Explanation. Option B is correct because DNS stands for Domain Name System. It is like the internet's giant phone book. When you type a website address like www.google.com into your browser, your computer uses DNS to look up the actual numerical IP address that computers use to find that website's server. Option A is incorrect because Data Network System is not the correct expansion for the DNS acronym. Option C is incorrect because Digital Number System is not the correct expansion for the DNS acronym. Option D is incorrect because Direct Network Structure is not the correct expansion for the DNS acronym. 23. What's the primary function of a print server? A. Store and manage user files. B. Monitor and manage print jobs. C. Process web page requests. D. Handle database queries. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, B. Monitor and manage print jobs. Explanation. Option B is correct because a print server is a computer or device on a network that manages shared printers. When users send documents to print, the print server receives these print jobs, puts them in a queue, and then sends them to the appropriate printer when it's available. It helps organize and control printing in an office. Option A is incorrect because storing and managing user files is the function of a file server. Option C is incorrect because processing web page requests is the function of a web server. Option D is incorrect because handling database queries is the function of a database server. 24. Which call command is used to insert new data into a table? A. Select. B. Delete. C. Insert. D. Update. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. Insert. Explanation. Option C is correct because in SQL, the insert command is used to add new rows of data into a specific table. You tell it which table to put the data in and what values to use for each column. Option A is incorrect because select is used to retrieve data from a database. Option B is incorrect because delete is used to remove existing data from a table. Option D is incorrect because update is used to modify existing data within a table. 25. Which of the following is not a type of operating system? A. Mobile OS. B. Server OS. C. Network OS. D. Database OS. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, D. Database OS. Explanation. Option D is correct because there is not a generally recognized category called a database OS. Database management systems are software that run on top of general purpose or server operating systems to manage databases. Option A is incorrect because mobile OS is a recognized category of operating systems designed specifically for mobile devices. Option B is incorrect because server OS is a recognized category of powerful operating systems designed for server computers. Option C is incorrect because network OS is a recognized category of operating systems specialized for managing networks. 26. Which project management phase involves determining the feasibility of a project? A. Planning. B. Initiation. C. Execution. D. Closing. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. Initiation. Explanation. Option B is correct because the initiation phase is the very beginning of a project. In this phase, you figure out if the project is even a good idea and if it's possible to do. This involves a feasibility study to see if it's technically possible, economically sensible, and operationally practical. You're basically asking, should we even start this project? Option A is incorrect because the planning phase comes after initiation, where you detail how the project will be done, including timelines and resource allocation. Option C is incorrect because the execution phase is when the actual work of the project is carried out, following the plan established earlier. Option D is incorrect because the closing phase is when the project is formally finished and wrapped up, including documentation and final reports. 27. What is the purpose of encryption in cybersecurity? A. To speed up data processing. B. To reduce storage requirements. C. To protect data from unauthorized access. D. To increase network bandwidth. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. To protect data from unauthorized access. Explanation. Option C is correct because encryption is like taking a secret message and scrambling it into a secret code so that only people who have the special key can unscramble it and read it. The main purpose is to protect sensitive information from being seen or understood by anyone who isn't supposed to have access to it, whether it's stored somewhere or being sent over a network. Option A is incorrect because encryption actually adds processing overhead, which can slow things down a bit. Option B is incorrect because encryption can sometimes slightly increase storage or data size due to padding or metadata. Option D is incorrect because encryption does not increase network bandwidth. Its goal is security. 28. Which programming language is often used for scripting and automation? A. Java. B. Python. C. C++. D. SQL. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. Python. Explanation: option B is correct because Python is a very popular programming language that's known for being relatively easy to learn and read. It's widely used for scripting, writing small programs to automate tasks, web development, data analysis, artificial intelligence, and many other things. Its clean syntax and large number of available libraries make it great for quickly automating repetitive jobs. Option A is incorrect because Java is a powerful language often used for large enterprise applications and Android apps, but Python is generally more common for quick scripting and automation. Option C is incorrect because C++ is a very powerful language used for system programming, game development, and high-performance applications, but it's more complex than Python for simple scripting. Option D is incorrect because SQL is a language specifically for managing and querying databases, not a general-purpose scripting language. 29. What type of network involves devices communicating within a limited geographic area, such as a business or school? A. WAN. B. LAN. C. VPN. D. MAN. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. LAN. Explanation: option B is correct because a LAN, local area network, is a network that connects computers and other devices together in a relatively small local area. This could be inside a single office building, a school campus, or even just your home. Option A is incorrect because a WAN, wide area network, covers a much larger geographical area, like connecting cities or even countries. The internet is a WAN. Option C is incorrect because a VPN, virtual private network, is a technology that creates a secure, encrypted connection over a public network like the internet, often used to access a LAN remotely. It's a type of connection, not a physical network area classification, like LAN. Option D is incorrect because a MAN, metropolitan area network, covers an area larger than a LAN, but smaller than a WAN, typically a city or a large town. 30. Which of the following is an example of utility software? A. Web browser. B. Media player. C. File compression tool. D. Word processor. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. File compression tool. Explanation: option C is correct because utility software is designed to help manage, maintain or control computer resources. A file compression tool is a perfect example because it helps you manage your files by making them smaller to save disk space or send them more easily. Option A is incorrect because a web browser is an example of application software, which is designed to help users perform specific tasks like browsing the internet. Option B is incorrect because a media player is an example of application software, which is designed to help users perform specific tasks like playing music or videos. Option D is incorrect because a word processor is an example of application software which is designed to help users perform specific tasks like writing documents. 31. What is a key function of a relational database? A. Storing large amounts of data in a single file. B. Managing relationships between tables. C. Encrypting sensitive data. D. Rendering web pages. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. Managing relationships between tables. Explanation. Option B is correct because the relational part of a relational database is all about how it stores data in separate, organized tables and then defines and manages the connections between those tables. For example, you might have a customers table and an orders table linked by a customer ID, so you can easily see which customer placed which order. Option A is incorrect because storing large amounts of data in a single file describes a flat file database, not a relational one. Option C is incorrect because encrypting sensitive data is a security feature that can be applied to many types of databases, but it's not the defining function of a relational database's structure. Option D is incorrect because rendering web pages is the job of a web server and web browser, not a database. 32. Which security protocol encrypts communications over the internet and is commonly used for secure websites? A. FTP, B. SSL TLS, C. HTTP, D. SMTP. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. SSL TLS. Explanation. Option B is correct because SSL and its more modern successor TLS are cryptographic protocols that provide secure communication over a network. You most often see them in action with HTTPS, which is when your web browser shows a padlock icon, indicating that your connection to the website is encrypted and safe from eavesdroppers. Option A is incorrect because FTP is File Transfer Protocol, which by itself is not secure. Option C is incorrect because HTTP is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, the standard way web browsers and servers communicate, but it's not encrypted. Option D is incorrect because SMTP is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, used for sending email, and while it can be secured with TLS, SSL TLS is the general protocol. 33. What is the primary role of a system administrator? A. Develop software. B. Maintain and support the organization's computer systems. C. Analyze user requirements. D. Write technical documentation. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Maintain and support the organization's computer systems. Explanation. Option B is correct because a system administrator is responsible for keeping an organization's computer systems, servers, and networks up and running smoothly. This includes installing and configuring hardware and software, troubleshooting problems, performing backups, managing user accounts, and ensuring the security and performance of the systems. Option A is incorrect because developing software is the role of a software developer or engineer. Option C is incorrect because analyzing user requirements is typically done by a business analyst or systems analyst. Option D is incorrect because writing technical documentation can be done by technical writers or by various IT roles, but it's not the primary role of a sysadmin. 34. Which of the following is a cloud computing service that allows developers to deploy applications without managing the underlying infrastructure? A. SaaS, B. IaaS, C. PaaS, D. DaaS. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. PaaS. Explanation: option C is correct, because PaaS Platform as a Service provides developers with a platform including operating systems, programming language, execution environments, databases, and web servers all managed by the cloud provider. This means developers can focus on building and running their applications without having to worry about setting up or maintaining the underlying servers, storage, or networking the infrastructure. Option A is incorrect because SaaS is software as a service, where you use a complete application over the internet, like Gmail. Option B is incorrect because IaaS is infrastructure as a service, where you get the basic building blocks like virtual servers and storage, but you still manage the operating systems and applications. Option D is incorrect because DaaS usually stands for desktop as a service, which provides virtual desktops in the cloud. 35. What is the purpose of a firewall in network security? A. To monitor and filter incoming and outgoing network traffic. B. To encrypt data for secure transmission. C. To manage access to shared resources. D. To store backup files. Can you guess the answer? Correct. Answer A. To monitor and filter incoming and outgoing network traffic. Explanation: option A is correct, because a firewall acts like a security guard for your computer or network. It sits between your internal network and the outside world and carefully inspects all the data trying to pass through, both coming in and going out. Based on a set of security rules, it decides whether to allow the traffic or block it, helping to prevent unauthorized access and malicious attacks. Option B is incorrect because encrypting data for secure transmission is the purpose of encryption protocols like secure sockets, layer transport layer security, not primarily firewalls. Option C is incorrect because managing access to shared resources is more related to access control lists or server permissions. Option D is incorrect because storing backup files is the purpose of backup systems or storage devices. 36. Which memory type is typically faster and located closer to the CPU? A. RAM. B. Cache. C. ROM. D. SSD. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. Cache. Explanation: option B is correct because cache memory is a small amount of superfast memory that is built either directly into the CPU chip itself or very close to it. It's much faster than regular RAM. The CPU stores copies of the data and instructions it uses most frequently in the cache, so it can access them almost instantly, speeding up overall computer performance. Option A is incorrect because RAM is the main system memory, which is fast but not as fast as cache and is located further from the CPU on the motherboard. Option C is incorrect because ROM is read-only memory, used for firmware, and is generally slower than RAM and cache. Option D is incorrect because SSD is a type of storage drive, much slower than cache or RAM, used for permanent storage. 37. Which operating system component is responsible for managing the system's hardware and software resources? A. Shell. B. Kernel. C. Device driver. D. File system. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. Kernel. Explanation: option B is correct because the kernel is the central component that has complete control over everything in the system. It manages the CPU's time, the system's memory, communication with hardware devices, and allows software programs to run and access these resources. Option A is incorrect because the shell is the user interface that allows you to interact with the kernel, like a command line or graphical desktop, not the core manager. Option C is incorrect because the device driver is software that allows the kernel, to communicate with specific hardware devices, but it doesn't manage all system resources. Option D is incorrect because the file system is the part of the OS that organizes how files are stored and retrieved on storage devices, not the overall resource manager. 38. What type of network connects multiple local area networks over a large geographic area? A. LAN, B. MAN, C. WAN, D. VPN. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. WAN. Explanation. Option C is correct because a WAN or wide area network is designed to connect networks that are spread out over a big geographical area. It can link together multiple LANs or local area networks that might be in different cities, states, or even countries. The internet itself is the largest example of a WAN. Option A is incorrect because a LAN or local area network covers a small area, like an office. Option B is incorrect because a MAN or metropolitan area network covers a city-sized area. Option D is incorrect because a VPN or virtual private network is a secure tunnel over another network, not a classification of network size. 39. What is the primary function of middleware in a network? A. Manage access control. B. Perform encryption and decryption. C. Facilitate communication between different applications. D. Store backup data. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. Facilitate communication between different applications. Explanation. Option C is correct because middleware is like a software glue or a bridge that helps different software applications, often built with different technologies or running on different systems, to communicate and share data with each other, especially across a network. It sits in the middle and handles the complexities of making these diverse applications work together. Option A is incorrect because managing access control is a function of security systems or operating systems. Option B is incorrect because performing encryption and decryption is a function of cryptographic services or protocols. Option D is incorrect because storing backup data is the function of backup systems. 40. Which of the following describes a denial of service attack? A. Attempting to steal sensitive data. B. Flooding a server with excessive requests to overwhelm it. C. Gaining unauthorized access to a network. D. Installing malware to corrupt data. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, B. Flooding a server with excessive requests to overwhelm it. Explanation. Option B is correct because in a denial of service attack, the attacker tries to make a computer, website, or network service unavailable to its legitimate users by flooding the target server with a huge amount of fake traffic or connection requests, overwhelming its resources so it can't respond to real users anymore. Option A is incorrect because attempting to steal sensitive data describes data theft, which can be achieved through various attack methods. Option C is incorrect because gaining unauthorized access to a network describes an intrusion or breach. Option D is incorrect because installing malware to corrupt data describes a malware attack aimed at data corruption. 41. What is the role of an automation architect? A. Design automation solutions to improve business processes. B. Manage network traffic. C. Build and deploy cloud infrastructures. D. Write technical documentation. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, A. Design automation solutions to improve business processes. Explanation. Option A is correct because an automation architect is a specialist who designs and plans how to use technology to automate repetitive tasks and entire business processes. Their goal is to make things run more efficiently, reduce errors, save time, and free up human workers for more complex tasks. Option B is incorrect because managing network traffic is typically done by a network administrator or engineer. Option C is incorrect because building and deploying cloud infrastructures is the role of a cloud architect or engineer. Option D is incorrect because writing technical documentation is often done by technical writers or can be part of many IT roles, but it's not the primary design role of an automation architect. 42. What does a security analyst primarily focus on? A. Database management. B. Web design. C. Monitoring network security and detecting breaches. D. Software development. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. Monitoring network security and detecting breaches. Explanation. Option C is correct because a security analyst is like a digital detective and guard for an organization's computer systems and networks. Their main job is to continuously monitor for any signs of suspicious activity, identify potential security weaknesses, investigate security alerts, and respond to security incidents or breaches if they happen. Option A is incorrect because database management is the role of a database administrator. Option B is incorrect because web design is done by web designers. Option D is incorrect because software development is done by software developers or engineers. 43. Which type of cloud computing model provides infrastructure resources such as virtual servers and storage? A. SaaS. B. PaaS. C. IaaS. D. DaaS. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. IaaS. Explanation. Option C is correct because IaaS infrastructure as a service is a cloud computing model where a provider gives you access to the basic building blocks of IT infrastructure over the internet. This includes things like virtual servers, computers you can control remotely, network connections, and data storage. You rent this infrastructure instead of buying and managing your own physical hardware. Option A is incorrect because SaaS is software as a service, where you use a complete application online like email or CRM. Option B is incorrect because PaaS is platform as a service, which provides a platform for developing and running applications without managing the underlying infrastructure. Option D is incorrect because DaaS typically stands for desktop as a service, offering virtual desktops. 44. Which of the following describes a relational database's foreign key? A. A key used to encrypt data. B. A unique identifier for each record. C. A field that links one table to another. D. A temporary placeholder for values. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. A field that links one table to another. Explanation. Option C is correct because in a relational database, a foreign key is a column in one table that refers to the primary key in another table. This creates a link between the two tables, allowing you to connect related data. Option A is incorrect because a key used to encrypt data refers to an encryption key, not a foreign key. Option B is incorrect because a unique identifier for each record describes a primary key, not a foreign key. Option D is incorrect because a temporary placeholder for values is not what a foreign key is. Foreign keys establish relationships between tables. 45. What is a characteristic of a compiled programming language? A. Translates code line by line. B. Allows real-time debugging. C. Translates the entire program at once. D. Requires no translation for execution. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. Translates the entire program at once. Explanation. Option C is correct because with a compiled programming language, the programmer writes source code. Then a compiler reads through the entire source code and translates it all at once into machine code that the computer can execute. This happens before the program is run. Option A is incorrect because this describes an interpreted language. Option B is incorrect because this is a feature of debugging tools, which can be used with both compiled and interpreted languages, not a defining characteristic of compilation itself. Option D is incorrect because this would apply to machine code itself, not a compiled language which does require translation from source code. 46. Which project management risk can result from adding unnecessary features to a project? A. Risk transference. B. Scope creep. C. Risk avoidance. D. Risk mitigation. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, B. Scope creep. Explanation. Option B is correct because scope creep is a common problem in project management, where the project's goals and deliverables start to expand beyond what was originally planned. This often happens when new, unnecessary features are added along the way, or when changes are made without proper control. Scope creep can lead to delays, increased costs, and a stressed-out project team. Option A is incorrect because risk transference involves shifting the responsibility of a risk to a third party, such as through insurance or outsourcing. Option C is incorrect because risk avoidance is taking steps to eliminate a risk entirely, usually by not performing the activity that introduces the risk. Option D is incorrect because risk mitigation refers to reducing the impact or likelihood of a risk event occurring. 47. Which type of network topology has each device directly connected to every other device in the network? A. Star. B. Bus. C. Ring. D. Mesh. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, D. Mesh. Explanation. Option D is correct because in a mesh topology, every device has a direct connection to every other device, creating redundancy and high reliability. Option A is incorrect because a star topology connects all devices to a central hub or switch. Option B is incorrect because a bus topology connects all devices to a single, shared cable. Option C is incorrect because a ring topology connects devices in a circle. 48. Which programming concept involves creating functions or objects to be reused across different parts of an application? A. Recursion. B. Encapsulation. C. Inheritance. D. Modularity. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, D. Modularity. Explanation. Option D is correct because modularity in programming is the idea of breaking down a large, complex program into smaller, independent, and manageable pieces called modules, which could be functions, classes, or objects. Each module does a specific job, and these modules can then be reused in different parts of the same application, or even in other applications, making the code easier to write, test, and maintain. Option A is incorrect because recursion is a technique where a function calls itself. Option B is incorrect because encapsulation is about bundling data and the methods that operate on that data within an object and hiding internal details. Option C is incorrect because inheritance is an object-oriented concept where a new class can inherit properties and methods from an existing class. 49. Which technology allows for multiple operating systems to run on the same physical machine? A. Virtual machine. B. LAN. C. DNS. D. VPN. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, A. Virtual machine. Explanation: option A is correct, because a virtual machine is like having a complete, separate computer running inside your actual physical computer. Special software creates these VMs, and each VM can run its own operating system and applications, all sharing the resources of the single physical machine, but isolated from each other. Option B is incorrect, because LAN is a local area network, which connects devices within a limited area. Option C is incorrect because DNS is the domain name system, which translates domain names to IP addresses. Option D is incorrect because VPN is a virtual private network, which creates a secure connection over a public network. 50. Which software development methodology emphasizes iterative development and rapid prototyping? A. Waterfall. B. Agile. C. DevOps. D. vModel. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, B. Agile. Explanation: option B is correct because Agile methodologies are all about flexibility and speed. Instead of planning everything out in detail at the very beginning, Agile projects work in short cycles called iterations, or sprints. In each cycle, the team builds a small, working piece of the software, gets feedback from users, and then uses that feedback to improve and add more in the next cycle. This allows for rapid changes and continuous improvement. Option A is incorrect because waterfall is a more traditional, linear approach, where each phase is completed before the next one begins. Option C is incorrect because DevOps is a set of practices that combine software development and IT operations to shorten the development lifecycle and provide continuous delivery with high software quality. Option D is incorrect because vModel is an extension of the waterfall model, where testing activities are planned in parallel with corresponding development phases. You have reached the end of our first question set. For the free complete exam preparation, visit our website link in the description, where you find thousands more practice questions and comprehensive study guides. Thanks for studying with us today. See you in the next video.